What is up, Drop Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news.
Within the past few years, aliens and a variety of conspiracy theories have been a hot topic. A common pattern we have seen is that the media typically tends to be easily deceived over article titles and images, believing that mystifying creatures are currently present in our space.
UFOs are unidentified flying objects and have been part of the wild debate of aliens in the media today. Many of the people today that claim to have seen UFOs are usually believed, and the media tries to support those sightings. But back in the day, reporting a UFO would label you as crazy and not credible. 3 years ago, people seemed to be most fascinated with the idea of aliens and UFOs, as they made a plan, more of a meme, to storm Area 51. Today, this fascination has not died, and the government has even made several statements on the matters of UFOs. From this video, you can see a strange black object flying around a helicopter, presumed to be a UFO. This Twitter user claims that she took the footage from that day and hashtagged it with #UFO. Obviously, this footage could be anything, a bug in the lens, a small drone, but when she puts her own opinion on the matter, other people start to believe that this flying object may really be a UFO. Stemming from the recent coronavirus, many claim to have seen an, quote, increase of around 16% of unidentified flying objects. Now, is this because of the amount of people at home, or is this just another hoax created by the boredom of the media? Either way, over 1,000 UFO sightings is nothing to take lightly, and these sightings seem to have had a real impact on how the media acts. So much so that the government, quote, announced the launch of a task force to investigate reports of unidentified flying objects in restricted airspace. The recent increase in sightings seems to have taken a larger hold on not just the media, but the government as well. The government claims that, quote, of 144 reports made about the phenomena since 2004, they cannot explain all but one. This fact further elaborates on the fact that aliens may be real, and the media eats it up like rabid dogs. If the government can't explain it, then it must be aliens, right? Anything stated by the government is sure to draw attention, and the fact that the government made this statement puts the media into a frenzy. Hence the article I cited on government action. Here's Alex, who's going to go more in depth on VFX artists' reactions to UFOs.
In today's day and age, much of the media portrays aliens and UFO sightings as real and viable. However, this does not mean it doesn't come with its fair share of skeptics. Some VFX artists from the Corridor crew decided that they would set out and determine if a claimed, authentic and unedited source of a UFO was trustworthy. They concluded, after watching and rewatching the film, that it could in fact be real. There was no conclusion as what is shown in the video, but they were able to determine that there were no edits to it. They did note, however, that film like this could very easily be edited with very little VFX skills.
Fair? I'm guessing none of you guys saw the UFO. I sent an email 2 months ago from a man named Jordan he has a website, LostSasquatch.com. He makes custom knives, things like that. He's an outdoorsman. And this guy says, hey, I have something I cannot explain. I've shown it to everybody and they can't explain it. Can you take a look? Maybe you guys can debunk it on your show. He took a time lapse while he was camping. So this is about a 5-hour time lapse. I have the exact GPS coordinates, the date, and the time. And there's something in this time lapse footage which I'm not able to explain. You see it?
Yeah.
No, what? Oh.
There it is.
Whoa, what? It's like a little orb of dark matter?
So the first time I watched this, there was a lot of compression. And who knows what compression's doing to an image? So I reached out to Jordan to get the actual raw files from the camera. He actually took all of his raw .cr2 files, meaning it's raw sensor data that's coming off as like ones and zeros and hasn't been turned into an image yet. And he put them up online, all like 8 gigs of them, and he sent them to me. So what we're watching right now is an image sequence from the actual raw files from Jordan's camera.
This is the sort of UFO sighting that is incredibly easy to do with visual effects. You can literally just pick any random star, crop it out, and animate it. It's like, this is a very, very doable VFX shot to fake. The key difference, this is verifiably the raw data coming off of a memory card rather than something that is manipulated on a computer and made to look like it's raw data.
Exactly. All the other videos we've watched have been on YouTube, they've been, compressed MP4s, but this is a situation where because we have the raw files, we know that they have not been manipulated.
In the early 2000s, when UFO sightings were beginning to become more popular, a panel of scientists from Stanford University concluded that it may be valuable to carefully evaluate UFO reports to extract information about unusual phenomenon currently unknown to science. To be credible to the scientific community, such evaluations must take place with a spirit of objectivity and willingness to evaluate rival hypotheses. They add that there are many reported incidents of UFOs. In a current study, the panel focused on incidents involving some form of physical evidence, including photographic evidence, radar evidence, vehicle interference with aircraft equipment, apparent gravitational or inertial effects, ground traces, injury to vegetation, psychological effects on witnesses, and debris. These can hopefully be used to better understand the reasoning behind unidentified flying objects, to better understand them, and to hope that someday we will understand why these aliens, if they are real, come to Earth.
Another complicated and controversial subject is crop circles. The most basic definition of a crop circle is an area of standing crops that have been flattened in a form of a circle or more complex patterns. There is no general identified cause of a crop circle, which is why there are so many different theories, but there are various amounts of natural and unorthodox explanations being discussed about the cause of these crop circles. In the article Mysterious Crop Circles, Alien Messages or Hoax, produced by Marcello, you can see that the title may be deceiving, considering that the article is providing evidence of crop circles and aliens being real. They quote, "I'm sure many of you remember the 2022 blockbuster Signs, directed by M. Night Shyamalan and starring Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix. It can't be by hand, it's too perfect," said Rev. Graham Hess, after inspecting a football field-sized pattern cut on his wheat crop. This article is building credibility through using the famous blockbusters. They are also known for solving mysteries by testing out a variety of experiments. On the controversy, Berkeley's lab believes that they have solved this ongoing mystery, discovering that the thinner the original gold layer, the faster the circles expanded. The reaction rate when the gold layers were only 20 nanometers thick was more than 20 times faster than when the layers were 300 nanometers thick. And while at first glance the dimensions of the gold and silicone squares inside the circular zones seemed variable, there was in fact a strict relationship between the size of the squares and the size of the circle. This article is primarily focusing on another cause of the crop circles, using the appeal of logos to provide science and is the reason. To grab the reader's attention to the article, they title it "Solved: The Mystery of the Nanocircle Crop Circles." Although you may think this article is automatically correct and the information is accurate because it is from a news center, it is also valuable to understand that the news is filtered. The reason for this writing may not be known to the audience. It could be an actual source of information, an attempt to educate the audience, or it could be posted so that the press settles down on the debate, eliminating any fear factors present.
Despite the notion that crop circles are mainly the work of aliens, when being covered on the news, these channels will often give the headline a title similar to something of "Mysterious crop circle pops up here" or shows up there. They never explicitly mention any human or alien activity at first. They always leave it ambiguous, enabling people to form their own opinion on the subject matter before really showing the people what they want them to think.
We're going to talk about something that's trending. We want your take on this. A mysterious crop circle has appeared in France. It's Vimy, France. Okay. Some people have been traveling hundreds of kilometers to visit it. Oh, there it is. Oh. Okay, so here's the theory, Steph. People are thinking the cross was a reference to the Knights Templar, which is a Catholic military order founded in 1119, and it speaks to the area's history. Apparently, it was ravaged by fighting in World War I. And Vimy contains a Canadian National War Memorial. Mm-hmm. So what people are saying is they're feeling the energy where the wheat was flattened, and they're saying they think a higher intelligence has made these crop circles.
You think so?
The farmer is shocked by everybody's interest. The crop circle cost him 200 to 300 squared meters of wheat, and look at how perfectly that is done. Question, Steph, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe this was done by aliens?
I don't know. I won't discount it.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I think it's like it would be conceited for humans to think that we're the only living creature in the universe.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know if that was done by aliens. What do you think? I feel like it's a very specific symbol with, like, human history.
Same.
That I don't think it was aliens.
I feel like somebody did it in the middle of the night and it's beautifully done and they got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the whole other like life forms somewhere within the universe.
Yeah.
There must be something of some sort.
I think so.
But what do you guys think? At BT Toronto, chime in.
Did you notice how the anchors were hesitant and laughed at the thought that this was done by aliens? This alone will instill doubt into the viewer's mind. They then attempt to debunk the whole situation by saying it's too specific of a design for aliens to recreate. This comment provokes viewers to rationalize their thinking and believe that this was just a prank done by some guy. They end the segment making jokes about how, yeah, aliens could exist, but by then, you're already believing what they want you to think, is that there's no alien involvement.
Area 51 is a classified Air Force base located 84 miles northwest of Las Vegas. People believe that Area 51 is a heavily guarded underground lab where the government keeps aliens and UFOs. The intense secrecy is why the base is subject to many conspiracy theories, which makes the situation fascinating. In 2019, a Facebook group started a movement to storm the top secret base. The movement started as a joke, but eventually there were nearly 2 million people who said they'll show up. A spokeswoman for the military told the Washington Post it is ready to protect America and its assets. The spokeswoman said those who trespass on a federal installation without proper authority will be apprehended until they can be turned over to the appropriate law enforcement authorities and are subject to local and federal penalties and prosecution. No one actually knows the full scope of what happens within the base, which makes the media speculate there are probably aliens. People have been seeing flying objects since the 1940s, and in 1959, the Reno Evening Gazette published a story, More Flying Objects Seen in Clark Sky. This subject opened up the floodgates to other reports of UFO sightings. Area 51 wasn't even acknowledged until 2013. This helped fuel the perception that the government has been holding on to top secret information about the remote facility in the Nevada desert. As far as we know, Area 51 is a secretive military flight testing and open training range facility for the Air Force.
I had people asking me if they could rent cages anywhere in the area so when they caught their alien, they could take one home with them.
Absolutely, I believe there's something out there.
So we're here along extraterrestrial highway. That way, civilization, Las Vegas. That way, the wild, Area 51.
There's security already waiting for anybody who comes near this section. I read the sign that says, do not cross this or you'll be drawn upon.
There's still so many unknowns surrounding this whole storm Area 51 thing.
Over on top of the hill late at night, he's seen like 3 random lights, just randomly. They were there for a second and then just gone.
He woke up because he felt his truck shaking, and all of a sudden he just seen like this green-yellow light just flash right in front of him.
I guess if you're here late at night, you might see something.
I think I believe. Do you believe that we're not alone?